money, which I don't have. I'm sorry, Heathen.
Look, I have money. I can go to a live event, or I can buy internet. This is a really tough call because
I'd go for the internet personally.
well, I haven't gotten any StarCraft video.
That's quite an early pause. Oh, Minimon, I never lag. Pause the game. Let me fix lag. Perfect.
If I opt to go to a live event, that means I won't have internet for 2 weeks, which means I will miss 4 tournaments. But I will be able to get some StarCraft player interviews and maybe some League of Legends player interviews from MLG Dallas in North America. MLG stands for Major League Gaming. It's a big tournament circuit that we have over there. And it's in Dallas, Texas. So I live in Arizona, so I'd have to fly over and get hotel and everything.
My UI is flickering. Let me go to borderless. I forgot that again.
Oh,
there we
dear.
go. My UI should now have stopped flickering. Disc, thank you for that. You are a lifesaver when it comes to my stream. Oh, blooming heck, that means that the entire last one I was streaming with flicker as well. My apologies to any viewers. And to answer you, Daniel, I thought you were my girlfriend. Oh, you've let me down. Anyone else has any questions, feel free to message or post on either of the chat rooms. Hopefully the flickering should have stopped now as well. I think I've fixed that. Oh, no, let's get the chat up. And hopefully, you never know, we might teach Gandair more things about where to find things on the client.
I didn't know! I didn't know! There's not a guide for this. There's not like a thing that tells you how to cast. You just kind of have to figure it out. There's no instruction
This is how
manual.
American casters work. No experience.
Hey,
They don't know
hey.
what they're doing.
You know what we have that you don't? Casters!
What about? We've got me. Okay, maybe you do have casters and we don't. That's quite true.
Well, you,
Okay.
I think you are the #1 Dominion caster in Europe.
Yeah, I may be the only Dominion caster in Europe, but that doesn't change much. Still #1.
Yup.
Okay, the game is about to start. On the left-hand side, we have Real Terror with Inceptionz playing Wukong, Scrubx playing Ahri, we have Sylian playing Malphite, we have BasTheOne playing Ezreal, he's the carry player for that side, and we have only 1 HP, also known as Necrogen on NA servers, playing bot lane Diana. On the right, we have Teemo Swift Scouts, we have Lifted Cloud playing Corki, we have BreathOfTheDying playing Lulu again, we have Hardware playing Jarvan top lane, we have Minimon playing Zyra, and we have xanize playing Maokai bot lane. Shoutcasters for this game, and me, Recycled Goods, EU bot laner guy, and Gandair, a Dominate Dominion shoutcaster from America. And another pause.
I'm really good at commentating the pause screen. You can see the circle in the middle of the screen rotates at a very specific frame rate. Now the time counts down in minutes and seconds. It doesn't track hundredths of a second because they're not terribly relevant. And you see the colon there at the end of pause time remaining denotes that, yeah, #1 pause screen shoutcaster, NA.
I think the time limit for pauses is an A in tournaments as well. The time limit for tournaments is 10 minutes.
I think it's 10
on pauses, yeah.
And yeah, and then the team can unpause after that or something, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I only know.
It's nice to see the teams behaving in such a jovial manner, being such good sports with each other, picking competently, high reading comprehension, and not playing about with each other's minds with the pause function.
It's actually got my
nice
game
to,
desynced.
Nice to see. It's very nice to see the good sportsmanship occurring here.
Okay.
And in other words, I'm slightly disappointed, Real Terror and Teemo Swift Scouts. Slightly disappointed in the Turf. Okay, Maokai versus Diana bot lane. I personally would expect that to go slightly in Maokai's favour in the early game, but I can't see either of them out pressuring the other in a hurry in the top fight. I don't know, I feel like both sides have got quite a lot of poke, but the Zyra poke edge with plants is probably more significant there, and snares can catch people out in early fights. So I'd say in the picks for the top fight, the advantage is probably in Teemo Swift Scout's favour early game until Malphite acquires his ultimate.
Very good orb deception there by Ahri, catching a couple people, catching them with a taunt as well. Has been a lot of good sniping coming out of Ahri, actually. Hardware gets a little too close, takes a crushing blow for his troubles for getting in there. BreathOfTheDying getting ballsy. Sylian getting taken down now. Got an exhaust on Hardware to keep him from dealing that damage. Dashes in, but BasTheOne with a very good arcane shift.
Oh, I'm lost on what to commentate already. I'm sorry.
Well, Minimon's
Okay,
trying to stay
Cloud,
alive,
gets
but
down
eats a
focus.
taunt and gets distracted for a little bit. Throws a vine over the wall at Scrubx. Scrubx misses with the Orb of Deception. Inception's going from one side and might be able to take Zyra down. But the passive...
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Plant's finished off Wukong there. The passive still hasn't been used, but proceeds to fire it at the Ahri sitting in the bush there. We have 3 revives down on the right hand side for Teemo Swift Scouts, whereas we have 2 revives down for Real Terror at the minute. Teemo Swift Scouts are going for a emergency bot push after a lost top fight. They don't feel like pushing onto the lane just yet. But Sylian on Malphite is going for a back door, lead him away from bot lane, and I think they could potentially neutralise this.
It's going to be close. Nope.
Oh, good Garrison there.
Garrison.
Good Garrison there.
BreathOfTheDying really knows how to hit his Garrison key. If this game and the last were any indication, they didn't need to group up at Windmill because they knew that they had so many people committed to the bottom they could just go in for that drill. They almost got a neutral for it. Good true shot barrage right there. Hardware going to get taken down. BreathOfTheDying narrowly escapes. Now Lifted Cloud in the mix of the enemy team is going to get killed. Ahri using the Spirit Rush to get closer up towards Minimon there. Tags him with the Orb.
Good Orb of Deception there. Tags both the first damage component and the true damage. They're capping on mid again, but Zyra passive stops.
Now I like Wukong. He did the early break. He broke off the cap early because he knew if he'd get interrupted, he wanted to start resetting his cap timer to re-click on it as early as he could. So it was a really good move by him, knowing that Zyra was up there.
We have Sylian ganking bot lane at the minute, but Maokai is holding firm. Only 1 HP, does take quite a few tower shots there, so it came out worse from that. Worse for wear. Although, Real Terror are still holding 3 points. Ahri sitting around top, just to counter any big pushes. But Teemo Swift Scouts are mobilising around midpoint, perhaps trying to catch them out, but BasTheOne's Q did find them in the bush. That just going to Lifted Cloud as he acquires the Storm Shield. Oh! But a risky blink in there from Ezreal manages to stop the Storm Shield count there.
And the team's getting split up a little bit. It's a 3v1 up there, but it's a 2v1 there. And now Ezreal's a good true shot barrage. Gets a lot of damage in on a couple of targets there. Lifted Cloud, though, in the back, delivering those hits. Scrubx taking damage pretty well there. And Minimon
did go balls deep there with a cataclysm, so he did die. Perhaps a bit too deep on the balls. Perhaps.
You don't want the... yeah.
The objective is now top lane and at the turret and the mid turret for Teemo Swift Scouts at the minute, so we'll have to see. That can be a turnaround point if Teemo Swift Scouts were to obtain the top objective.
Whoa!
10% addition. And Inceptionz very, very, very narrowly surviving Zyra's Burst and Ignite with... Is that 1-digit health? 2-digit health there. And he narrowly escapes the Zyra passive as well.
Yeah, he just slightly outranged that. There, BreathOfTheDying looking to connect with Scrubx there, and might be able to. Does land the Glitter Lance, not quite enough damage to secure the kill though. 2-digit hit points for Scrubx.
All of Teemo Swift Scouts are just too low health and mana to follow up on that, meaning that top is still in Real Terror's favour at the minute. And we have Inceptionz going to lane for the Storm Shield Relic, but we have all 4 of Teemo Swift Scouts top lane heading towards mid bush, possibly trying for a jungle ambush or to counteract whatever plays are made by Real Terror. But as the points are ticking down, they may need to make a move pretty soon.
Engagement.
Inceptionz with a very, very good ultimate there on Wukong, catching all 4 members of Teemo Swift Scouts up in the knock-up. Still a lot. Oh, Inceptionz has just went down, stayed in the fight for quite some time as Wukong, but was finally dropped in exchange for 3 members of Teemo Swift Scouts. Now it's Corki solo defending for as long a time as he can, which on a squishy carry isn't the longest of times. Necrogen is starting to be aggressive bot lane as well. Now he realises there's a lot of pressure top, and he's got an objective damage boost. So Teemo Swift Scouts have been 4 counts. They are losing on points quite heavily at the minute.
There was a really good engage in that fight too, with the True Shot Barrage there, and having You know, there was just a lot of factors that made both teams want to kind of clump up there. Zyra and J4 had thrown down their ultimates, and their team had collapsed a little bit, which helped bring them in line for Real Terror to be able to chase.
Narrowly manages to escape, and they're trying to aggress back to get the bit mid turret back, but it seems the defense from Real Terror with the 10% objective damage bonus is just too strong. They can postpone any capping for quite some time, allowing the point timer to tick down. We have Ahri and Lulu both heading towards bot lane at the minute, but it seems like Necrogen may get a free cap on that. That's a 4 cap and a neutralise at the 8-minute mark, which doesn't bode well for Teemo's Swift Scouts.
No, they haven't been able to contain them in the base though, fortunately, which is good. So it does give them room to possibly get out and get active on the map.
But Maokai has been killed by 3 people bot lane, meaning that Teemo Swift Scouts are down on men and currently 5 caps, so unless they make a very, very soon move and manage to recap a few points with Jarvan and Lulu potentially capping the top turret, they are going out of the game very, very soon. Inceptionz with an ultimate on Corki there does take him out, and the well-placed charm by Scrubx does mean that Zyra falls as well. But I do think this is game over. I don't think that there'll be any coming back from this for Teemo Swift Scouts.
No, they've I mean, they could get 2 points back, but they'd have to fight for each one of those points, and by the time that reinforcements come out, it would just be not so great. I mean, if you try and push out bottom or mid, you have to fight for the tower even against one defender.
They have given up, and they are now waiting on the fountain for the game to end. That is Teemo Swift Scouts against Rainbow Bunnies for the 3rd place playoffs, and Real Terror against Thai Boys in the finals. So
we're all set to see Real Terror taking on the finals, right?
Yeah, so we'll see another Real Terror Thai Boys finals, as with last week. It's a bit of a shame, so short a game in the semi-finals, but it can happen. Zyra trying to land an ultimate there. Just going to get picked off and die before the end. And I wonder if we'll see any dancing by the fountain. Oh, no dancing, but located at the fountain at the end there by Real Terror anyhow.